This football club's journey started at the bottom of English football, playing in Sunday League's lowest division. But now they've made the switch to non-league, appointed a new manager and found a pitch they can call home. So we're going to find out the costs of running the club, what league requirements must be met and the problems managers face at the bottom of English football. But first, let's meet the owner of AFC Turnford, Ronnie.
This football club was playing at the bottom of English football, Sunday League, Div 5. Why have you moved into non-league?
Many reasons. Obviously, I want the club to go as far as it can. And another reason was I've been in non-league, played non-league, and never really found my feet, never really enjoyed it. Like any club I was at, managers tell you what you want to hear. So I thought, why don't we, who's got a football club, try and do it ourselves? Obviously, we thought about it many times, but never actually thought, right, we're actually going to take the leap, because we thought it's just well too out of our range, like we can't do that. But we sat down last year and was like, look, why don't we do it? There was talks about us doing it next year, but I was like, look, we're young, let's just do it now. The application process is long. I thought I was applying to go into the Premier League, and all honesty, the amount of documents I had to fill out. But no, that is probably the main reason why we've gone into non-league. Just want to see it grow, because I just feel like we've seen it done before with the likes of hashtag SC Dons, who have now gone into non-league, and I just feel like there's room for it, and people root for clubs like local areas. Do you know what I mean? So this area, only you have the Cheshunt, you have Wormley, who we're playing at now. There's room for us to actually grow. There's no one from Turnford, and if we could just build a community base, I think that's what my main thing is, to build a community. Like we had young kids over there who actually want to come and watch. They can interact with the players, whereas that's different from obviously the higher you go, you don't really interact with anyone. So that's probably the main reason, for the community.
And this team is made up of mates, isn't it?
Literally. So we started this team 5 years ago over Knightley's Park. So you got Turnford School, and then Knightley's Park is literally the park opposite. Just a group of mates, we thought, let's start a Sunday League team. We had a horrible blue and red kit, no badge, no branding, nothing. Just turn up, put the nets up and play, and then go to the pub. A few years back, we realised, like, right, so if we want to compete and actually climb the leagues in Sunday League, we have to get better players. There was a few disagreements in there, but ultimately I think it was the right decision, and if you look at where we are now, it obviously was the right decision. But yeah, we started rock bottom, Div 5. Even when we won the league at Div 5, it felt like we won the Premier League. Like, honestly, there's no better feeling than winning the league.
How much does it cost to go from Sunday League to Saturday football, non-league, at the bottom end of the pyramid?
A lot for a club like us. When we first started, we didn't even have sponsorship, so we just charged the boys £5 a week. That pays for the ref, and that's sorted. When you have a home game, we was renting them off the council, so they cost £55. It's peanuts. And then, obviously, as we got a little bit better, we moved to a bit of a better pitch, which was costing us a little bit more, but again, we was just paying it through subs. We didn't have a sponsor. And then moving into the Saturdays, you look at what you got to pay for, and it's like, whoa. I mean, for other clubs, it's like not a lot, but for a club that's literally got no sponsors or nothing. So this year we've had to find, I worked out to be about £7,000 for us to survive the season. So when you take that from Sundays, where you probably need about £800 to survive a season, it's a lot more dough. And going out and finding them sponsors is, everyone's happy and everyone's like, yeah, I want to be involved in it, And you're like, right, okay, so I need you to send the money to this account. And then suddenly like, everything goes quiet, and it's like, I think he's blocked me. It's like, that's probably the one thing I struggled with the most, is actually finding the money. But we've managed to scrape it together, and then recently I've met someone's coming in and partnering with myself to own the football club, being turned into a proper business. They're going to go out, secure funding. Everything seems to be falling in place right now. I'm waiting for something to go wrong.
Today's game is an important cup match against St Margaret's-Bury FC in the Norman Appleby Trophy, and thankfully all of the team have arrived on time.
Cup game today, St Mags, they're going to want it. They've brought in some players because they're playing us. They've brought in 4 or 5 players, brought some of his old players back, but I'm worried about them. I'm worried about what you boys do. We go out there straight away, front foot, everything's front foot. Everything passing forward, movement, creating the space, helping each other out, looking for that pass. Someone makes an iffy pass, don't really care what's going on. Just get up, get on with it. Do not get at the ref today. Let them do that. They're known for it. Let them do that. Everyone as a team, up and down, as we know we can play. Big game for us today. It's a one-off. It's not like we can go again next week, win this, getting out for the next round. Do your warm-up how you want this game to go. If it's a slack warm-up, it's going to be a slack game. Put everything in that warm-up that you should be putting into it. Create the chances we've been creating for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Nobody creates the chances that we do. No silly things to start with, yeah? No tricky stuff. Let's get 2 or 3 goals, and then we express ourselves more. Do you know anything?
Boys, never won a cup. Let's start today. Listen, runs of start. It's 11 men versus 11 men. I think who they've got, who they've brought in. That shouldn't matter. 11 men versus 11 men. Let's make sure we're on the winning side. Let's go, boys.
So
How much do you charge players to play for the club?
Nothing now. So that was a decision I had to make at the start of the season. I thought, if I was playing Saturdays, you give up a lot of your day. So you got to get here at midday and you're not getting home till 7 o'clock. You're asking boys to be committed, and then if you go on top and say, look, you got to pay £5 a week to play, I don't think I would have got a lot over it. So I took the risk at the start of the season and said, look, next season you ain't going to pay nothing. You ain't going to pay subs, nothing. We will find all the funding through sponsorships and we'll run it like that. But yeah, they don't pay a penny.
And the facilities here are not too bad, considering you're playing towards the bottom end of the football pyramid.
Yeah.
What's the pitch like? What's the level like?
It's actually not that bad. I mean, it's a bit hard at the minute. So when we looked at grounds, we was initially meant to go to Cheshunt and play on the Astro. But long story short, like the changing rooms and everything you need, they already had a club there, so they couldn't facilitate 2 teams. But they told us really late, and then we had to find another ground, and it was like, what do we do? We sent so many emails out and just got nothing back. And we even phoned Wormley, and they said no. Like, we don't have nothing. So then I was like, crap, we've got nowhere to play. Like, we've applied to go in this league and we've got nowhere to play. Then I phoned them again later on and was like, look, we really need a ground. Is there anything you can do? And they was like, okay, yeah, one team's just folded, so we've got space. So they gave us a good deal on the pitch, what I think. And yeah, it's not the best. So for the year, it was actually £1,700. So £1,750 it was in total. We had an option to get food after the games and stuff, but I thought, nah, let's get through the first year first. So it's not massive amounts, but again, for clubs that have just started, it is a lot of money. It's done the job so far. Our first 3 games, we had like 80 people here per game. And for a Step 8 team, like, it's pretty crazy.
What are the league requirements for a Step 8 football club?
So the league requirements are pitch needs to be roped. So no spectators can go past a rope. You need benches for home and away team. Changing rooms, you need home and away changing rooms, a ref changing room, and you need another changing room in case you have a female ref. So that was one of the problems we faced a lot, was most places only had 3 changing rooms, but you need 4. Because if you have a female ref, they can't go into a changing room that a man would have, which I find crazy, but that's the main requirements that you need.
Where are your benches?
They're not out yet, they're little fold-up ones. we don't have any fancy benches, but problem on that, we've actually only got 1 at the moment. 1 is on order and that hasn't come yet, so we have to give it to the away team. So our boys have to sit on the floor.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, we are real bottom of the barrel here. We are real bottom of the barrel.
The missing bench wasn't Ronnie's only problem. At the start of the season, he had to demote their Sunday League manager and dear friend Dino.
So the reason for that was Dino went to school with us. Dino is one of our mates, although he looks a lot older than what he is. One thing we always struggled with was a bit of discipline with the boys. Getting the boys to get there on time, to realise that it's not just a mess about. And I feel like when Dino's maybe saying stuff, most boys take it in and listen to him. It's natural, because you're the same age and you're their mate, they kind of don't take you seriously. So I thought, if we're going to go Saturdays, we need someone to come in where he don't know none of the boys, he's not friends with none of the boys, and what he says, the boys are going to sit there and say, right, okay, I've got to listen, otherwise I'm gone. So that was the main reason. Nothing against Dino. Dino done wonderful things for us, you know what I mean? He got us to the top of Sunday League, but I just thought for the club to move forward, we needed someone that no one knew.
Dino, you were the manager of this football club when they were playing at the bottom of English football. What was that like?
A lot of muddy pitches, a lot of puddles, a lot of sweeping water at 9:30 on Sunday morning, setting nets up. There was a lot of the ugly side of football, but there was obviously some great moments. Whenever you win it, I don't think it matters what level it is. If there's a bunch of pals that win a game of football together, I think it should be celebrated. It was good. Even then, we knew that the club could go further. We didn't have this kind of ambitions, but obviously we had ambitions within Sundays. There was stuff we wanted to do, but to do this from 2 years ago, I remember where we was, to go to here now, be playing in the Step 8 of the English pyramid, I think. Crazy in a sense, it's mental what's happened.
How much did you enjoy being a manager at the bottom of English football?
Obviously, there was the good times, there was times where you're like struggling, you've got 9 players on a Saturday night and you're ringing round and you're trying to sort players. There's obviously players that turn up half drunk from the night before, although it's not completely out turning to this level of football, but most of the time it's completely out and you don't have panic of not having a team ready. I'd say that's the biggest difference, is that it feels more professional as a club.
What kind of excuses were you getting?
We had all sorts. We had people who didn't get the last train home and are still in London at 8:30 in the morning. Injuries that had just appeared on a Saturday night, they're fine, and then all of a sudden they've got out on the drink and now they've done their hamstring somehow, you know what I mean? I don't think there's an excuse that I didn't hear when we was on a Sunday.
So when this club decided to go into Saturday football, how comes you didn't stay as manager?
Because I thought it was in the best interest of the club to let Barn take the club forward. Of course, I still wanted to be around. I still, like, in a sense, in a perfect world, I would have took the club forward. But to see it succeed, to see it have a proper platform, a base to build off, I thought it was important that Barn took over, because Barnes was involved in a football club before. He hadn't done any management type stuff, but he had been involved in a football club. He had seen how a football club worked in and out at a step 3 levels, which is a couple levels above this, which is important. You've got to know how things are done, like warm-ups, the way it changes, like, because we'd get there sometimes 45 minutes before kick-off on a Sunday morning, just have open the gates once or twice, close a few, ping the balls 30 yards away, and then we'd be starting, you know what I mean? Like, so it was like, he knew how to take the club from that, I wouldn't say unserious, because I wouldn't say we was unserious at Sundays, but we weren't professional to more of a professional outfit. We look like a team, like when we turn up, when we're away from actual football, like in the bar, things like that after the game, we look like, he bought that proper, we look like a football club now.
And what's your role at the football club
So
now?
Barnes number 2, call it assistant manager. I do the warm-up for the boys, because obviously Barnes got to sort out team sheets before the game. He's got to meet with the manager, the other manager, he's got to meet with the officials, everything like that. Obviously we come out, set the pitch up, you need rope out, you need to roll the nets down, so we do all of that side of it. Try and help Ron where I can, obviously, on the socials and things, but I would say that's not my biggest forte. I'm not the best on the old social media and all that. Anything that needs doing, if there's a job that no one wants to do, I'll do it, you know what I mean? It's one of them.
And what's your relationship like with Barn on the pitch, on the touchline? Are you quite vocal?
Yeah, I'd say Barnes a lot more conserved than me. He can control his emotions a lot better. Like, I'm a lot more, like, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Like, if there's something that I'm annoyed about, you're gonna know about it. If there's times where I don't think you're putting 100% in, you're definitely gonna know about it. I think that was the main thing, is like, obviously on a Sunday you can have that more screamy, shouty person, but like on a Saturday you've got to be able to never be too high, never be too low. Like, it's got to be next week. There's a lot more games on a Saturday, a lot more cup games. Obviously we've had midweek, managing like 5 games in 14 days or something it was. So like, he's very good at that side of the game, very good at getting into the players on like normal level, but like a lot calmer. Like, I'd get a tune at the boys, is like getting into them, like, and saying, come on, this is our day today. We need to be first to every ball, second to every ball, and then we're able to play our football.
Dino has stepped aside for Barnes to be the new first-team manager, but how did they persuade him to join the club?
Obviously, he used to go watch Cheshunt all the time, so it was hard to get him away from there, because he'd done like all the analytics and stuff for Cheshunt. And then he come over to watch us, and I just thought, let me just ask a question. Like, would you be interested? Because I've never really seen him on a managerial level or seen what he's like coaching, but I thought, we're going into the bottom, so it's not like we need someone, a mate, we don't need a Pep or something. He was a bit hesitant at first, I think, but then he bought into the idea and was like, yeah, let's give it a go. So I think now he's starting to find his feet. At the start, he was a bit, how much could he say to the boys and stuff like that? But I've said to him, like, look, we're not here to make friends. Do you know what I mean? You've got to say what you think. If a boy's not doing it, or a boy's taking the piss out of you, then tell him and say, like, look, you're gone. If you don't want to be here and you don't want to do it right, then you're gone. It's got to be as strict as that, like, because even the boys who have come from the start, who have been here from the very start, of course I want them to come with us all the way. But if they're not going to buy into what we're doing and stuff like that, then there's no room for it.
Dan, how are you finding life as a non-league manager?
It's more stressful than I thought it'd be. Don't switch off at all. I went away sort of last week, still didn't switch off. Was always on the phone to people. But yeah, it's a bit of an eye-opener.
What are the biggest problems you face as a non-league manager at step 8?
It's the commitment side, it's training, people buying into the training. There's some players that are coaches that coach, but they coach football. We're trying to coach them to win 3 points. But it's taking feedback. Everyone's got an opinion of football. It's taking that feedback on and taking it the right way. I was a little bit stubborn at the start, but now I'm a little bit more, okay, we'll listen and we'll crack on and we'll look at that and we'll move things about. Yeah, reliability is the key thing. When the votes go out and you've got 25 players and you're getting 14 vote yes, and you're getting sort of 10, 11 saying no, and you're asking players to come, you're signing on players, and then they tell you they're not available, that sort of stuff. They need to buy into that part of it, yeah. Availability at this level, if you've got a consistent squad and that sort of stuff, it wins your games on its own.
Why did you pick this football club to be your first role in non-league management?
So obviously it's gone from Sundays to Saturdays, and went in and helped out, and with it being AFC Turnford, I went to Turnford School, albeit sort of 20 odd years after I left. We had the chats and we're all on the same sort of wavelength how we want to progress the club, move forward and build a club rather than just have a team. And this is the foundations of it already is there. You know, moving to Saturdays, half decent crowds come and watch us at a step 8 game. So yeah, it's pretty good.
What have you learned about being a non-league manager at this level?
Like you say, it is different as you go down the levels. The attitudes of players is totally different. Some are all for it, they want us to go that far, but some still trying to get them away from that Sunday feel. into a non-league thing. That's what I've learned. Is a bit hard that some players will say one thing and mean another. So if they want it, there's some talented players that we've got, and they could play higher, and some have played higher, but they've got to want it. It's all right us telling them how good they are and what they're capable of and all that, but they've got to want it themselves. You've got a meet time, let's say, of 1:30, and you've got people turning up at 1:40. I know it's only 10 minutes, but it's the standards you set and the standards you show to everyone else. If you was higher up the pyramid, they're not having that at all. Obviously, they don't get paid here, but higher up the pyramid where you get paid and they start hitting you in the pocket, that's for that sort of stuff, then they'll notice.
How often do you get to train with the team?
We're once a week at the moment. First 10 days of the season we had 4 games, so we couldn't really train. So it was Saturday, Tuesday. Now we can train and we get an hour with each other. But again, that's just relying on numbers, commitments and that sort of stuff, which is it's hard for boys to do. We say to them, look, obviously your family comes first, your work commitments, because we ain't paying your bills. We ask you for that little bit of commitment.
And as you climb the divisions, will you go from a tracksuit into a suit?
No, can't afford a suit. I've got to buy this myself, just whatever you're comfortable. And you've got to be comfortable on a match day. If it comes to it and I have to wear a suit, then I'll be tapping up the club and seeing what they can get me.
The squad is primarily made up of school friends. So what makes this club so special?
The family. Not many people get to play in the same group of friends that they've grown up with, school years, everything like that. Although I'm not one of them, a lot of these boys known each other for about 15 years.
I think how we all just started as schoolmates, really. Went to school together and then started a football team.
How far do you reckon this football club can go?
There's no limits. I think if you look at 5 years, I definitely see us being step 6 and above, minimum. 10 years, who knows?
As far as we want, that's the best part about this club is the ambition that everyone has. Everyone a part of it wants to take this club to really big things, and that's what we're working towards. So yeah, I think we can go as far as we want.
And what's the changing room banter like?
Yeah, good. It's a good laugh. Nobody takes themselves too seriously, so yeah, good.
Banter normally comes from Dino, the manager. He's up for it every week. He's witty with it, very quick, but because obviously we know each other from school, so yeah, he's got some indoors joke going around, but yeah, it's top.
How much commitment does it take to run a football club at the bottom of English football?
Commitment, yeah, it's mental. I'm literally up till 2 a.m. most nights because obviously I edit all the YouTube videos as well. Yeah, the commitment is just crazy. Like, there's not a day that goes by where I don't think, or I'm not on the phone to one of these guys talking about Turnford. Now, because we've got someone else involved, or I'm actually going to meetings now about Turnford, and it's like, I sit back and I think this is crazy, but the commitment levels is just, you do need to be so committed to grow this. And to be fair, I don't mind because I love it. This for me is like almost like my little baby. Like, I want this to grow, so I don't mind sitting up till 2 a.m. editing these videos. But I think that's some things that the boys don't see, that it's hard, because like all we ask them to do is turn up to training once a week and turn up to a game, and some of them struggle to do that. So, but no, yeah, it's a lot of commitment.
Why did you decide to put the journey on social media?
We started like 2 years ago uploading YouTube content. We had a old Nikon D3100. Quality was like 720p. It was awful. But the reason I started was because of you see the SE Dons and the hashtag, and I thought, why don't we document our journey? And obviously, when we started this, we had no plan to go Saturdays. So I was like, let's just document our Sunday league process. We might get a following in, we might not. But it was all about just documenting it, and so boys can watch it back and just like have a laugh, really. That was it. And then the first year, we never really got any views. Like, it was just, and I was still posting every week. Like, I'm still staying up late doing the commentary on it, and I'm like, well, how am I doing? It's going out to like 50 people. But last year we started to get a little bit more engagement, and it started to grow a lot more. So we started the year on like 120 subs, and we ended the year on, I think, 1.1k. So that allows you to monetize your video, where you can start earning some money of it, which obviously all goes back to the club. So with the funding and stuff, that's another side of what YouTube is good for it now, that it can actually supply funding for the club.
What was the first game like of the season? I know it didn't go your way.
No, it didn't. Maybe thinking back that we got caught up in what it was for us. We got caught up, the fact it's our first Saturday game, a little bit of history for the club. Listen, they ran away with the league last year. They've done the double. They're running away with it this year again. I think they're on nearly plus 40 goal difference already. We haven't lost the game. It was a good, tough test, and it wasn't a 4-1 loss, really. Moan about referees and that sort of stuff. It was just decisions like early in the game. We get a goal disallowed for offside that even their sides are saying it's not offside, and then he gives a soft penalty. So instead of being 1-0 up, we're 1-0 down. Mistakes by ourselves. Maybe I got overawed by it. Maybe I shouldn't have told them how good this team were. But we live and learn, and that's what we have to do.
What are the ambitions for the season?
For the season, to get promoted.
How easy is that going to be?
It's not going to be easy. No one ever thought it'd be easy. But we've got a good enough, I feel, we've got a good enough squad, good enough players to get us up. Top 3 go up. We aim for that 3rd spot. We aim for the 1st spot, but if we get that 3rd spot, then then we're up and we build next year. We're going step 7. We look at that and then we look at how we can move forward.
What kind of manager are you?
I don't know. I'm still learning. A few people tell you you're not very good. I like to think the boys can talk to me. I'm calm. Some people, you know, with a bald head and a beard and that, and quite big. Some people would think I'm a screamer and shouter, but I'm not. I like to think about things. I've always got stuff going on in my head. I do need to maybe get my point across a little bit better, but we're all learning together. So, and that's a good thing. With them showing a little bit of confidence in me coming here, we all learn together and we all learn as a team and as a club, and we move up.
And this club is documenting their journey. There's 1-2 cameras following you around. How are you going to deal with all that? Because with social media comes a lot of pressure as well, and people will want to see you fail.
They do. That's why we get half decent numbers here. I think most people want to see us lose. Now we've got a lot of people that want to see us do well, but you get a few comments on social media and that. Not so much myself. Other players and other members of staff have had comments about how you're not ready for it. You're not going to do it, which is proven wrong. But the cameras and that. Once you've done it a couple of times, you don't really think about them. I keep forgetting I've got a mic on and say some stupid stuff. And then they've made me out to be the Poundland gaffer with one of the TikToks because I went into Poundland and someone recognised me. But
this club started at the bottom of English football, Sunday League, Div 5.
Yeah.
How far can this football club go?
With what's happening behind the scenes, what's the commitment some people have got to the club, it can go as far as it wants to go. There's ambition, there's a lot of ambition there. And some people sound like arrogance, it's not, it's ambition. We want to win things, we want to move up, we want to get as high as we can. We want to be actually in what people call the proper pyramid. When you hit step 6 and further up, we want to be in there. We want to be playing at decent stadiums in front of decent crowds. Obviously we don't want to be on a park every week, half decent pitch, but we want to be on the main pitches and we want to be in decent. We played at the county ground last week and it was just a bit of a thing. There's a stadium there and the boys were, oh, you know, we could do this every week.
What division are you in?
We are in Division 1 of the Hearts Senior County League. That's step 8. And do you know what? It's actually surprised me. So I've played step 4 for the likes of Malden and Tiptree. I saw you done a video on them. I played for them. I thought coming into here, it'll be like a better version of Sunday League. But it's actually surprised me. Like the teams are actually all right. They're set up good. The team we played first game of the season were a very good outfit. It could have gone either way, I think, but we've definitely held our own. And I think we are without sounding big-headed, we are one of the best teams in the league. But no, it's definitely surprised the level.
How comes when you went to Saturday, you didn't start at the bottom of the non-league pyramid there?
So they wanted us to. They did want us to, but I was like, no. So I obviously had a plan in my mind of we want to get to the football ladder, which is step 6. But they wanted to put us in something silly like Division 6, which is like step 14 of English football, which is nuts. Then you look at that and you think, right, I've got 8 promotions before we're even touching the football ladder. And I'm like, oh, I'll be 30 by then. I'll be 31 by then. I thought we want to get there as quick as possible. So I said to the chairman, I said, look, how can we prove to you that we're able to play in the higher league? Because initially I wanted to go into the Prem, because we've got boys that have played step 3, step 4. So I said to him, like, look, we've got decent boys. Like, this is not just a Sunday League team. I mean, he said, right, so the only thing you can do is play friendlies and prove to me that you can be in it. So I said, right, okay, so we organised friendlies against Div 1 teams, Div 2 teams, and we literally wiped the floor with them. Like, we was beating them 5-0, 6-0, 4-0. And then we went back to him and was like, look, these are our results. We've not even conceded a goal. Like, we cannot go down to Div 6 where we're beating Div 1 and Div 2 teams like this. And he was like, no, fair enough. He put us in Div 2 and I said, oh, Div 2, like, can you not at least put us in Div 1? He said, no, I was banking on the team getting relegated and they never did. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. We've just got another year. Just before the season started, he basically called me and said, look, I've had a team drop out. Do you want to go in it? So I said, yeah. So here we are. We are now in Div 1, step 8 of football.
Let's not let anyone else down. Let's not let ourselves down. First tackle, first header. First opportunity, let's get it buried. Let's do what we have to do. Make use of our set pieces that we know we're good on. Let's be calm with our decisions. Let's not rush ourselves when we're in that final third. Let's not snatch at stuff. If we have to take that extra touch, take that extra touch. You boys that are putting the ball into the box, take the extra touch. Move up together. Listen, enjoy it. Encouragement, but most of all, enjoy it today. If you enjoy it out there, there's only one team going to win.
Boys, listen, I said everything I need to say when we were just about to warm up. Hey, this is a lot bigger for us for many other reasons. Personal, to do with the YouTube, to do with anything. It's a lot bigger day for us than it is for them. Mean it. As I was just walking around and saying, first tackle, first header, then we get into the game. Let's go, boys, let's go.
Guys,
How excited are you for the future of AFC Turnford?
Seeing where we've come from, and obviously like before I was even manager, I watched them as like just a supporter really on the side, because like I said, I went to school with all these boys. When they was coming out of like youth football and transitioning to Sunday League, I used to go over there, and then seeing where we've come from there to then when I was in charge to where we are now, I think I know it sounds cliche, but I think sky's the limit. I think the conversations that Ron's been in, like today we've had a drink with our badge on it, like things like that are just crazy, you know what I mean? Like, and you see all the other great stories of like hashtag SE Don, Dorking, all of them great stories, and you're like, why can't we be next? That's my thing, why can't we be next? You know what I mean? We're all dedicated to it, we're all putting 100% in. And when you're working hard for something, normally good things will happen to you. So we're very hopeful, I'd say that, very hopeful.
The future is as big as it wants to be. Like, honestly, I think this club could reach the levels of like step 4, step 3. Obviously, our dream is to go to like the National League and stuff like that, but that's when you're talking like you need your own stadiums and everything. Like, it's not,
that's a little bit way off. You haven't even got a bench.
But you see it done. You've seen it done with Dorking Wanderers.
Yeah.
You've seen it done with Dorking Wanderers. They started from rock bottom. They started from rock bottom exactly like us, and now look at them. Obviously, yeah, like you said, that is a long way away. But within the next few years, I want back-to-back promotion. So then we are applying for step 6 in 2 years' time. That's what I want. Whether or not that happens, it might be we get promoted this season. This year has to be promotion. Has to be promotion. Nothing.
Is his job on the line if he doesn't get promotion?
Could potentially. No, we definitely need promotion this year. Like there's nothing more. Now we're getting people involved. Like this is more than just having a football team on YouTube. Like it's turning into a bit of a business now. So like promotion is needed this year. And then next year, of course, I would like promotion, but it might take a year to settle. So we're banking on that as well. I've got that planned. So if it takes a year to settle, it's not going to throw anything out.
Would you have an issue sacking the gaffer if it had to?
So now I've got someone else in the club. It wouldn't like. We would sit down and have a conversation. It would actually be down to him to go to him and say it. But yeah, of course I would. I love Barn. I love Dino. Dino's been here from the very. They've both been here. Well, Dino's been here from the very start, and Barnes grew into it. And their commitment is they're just as committed as me. Like Barnes said, he went on holiday and was still thinking about AFC. Like I can tell his commitment. Getting here 3 hours early. Like you can't buy that stuff. You can't give people enough money to come here and do that. Do you know what I mean? So for them to come here and do it for free, like. It's rare, and that's what I say to the boys. Like you've got to respect this. Like they're not getting paid for this. They're coming on at their own time to come here 3 hours early to set up a pitch for you and manage your football club. So yeah, it would definitely be hard.